Welcome. So today I wanted to share with you my new creation of love, something that I've been working on for the last few years, but with no clear intention. Basically, I have just launched a new cream called Goddess Glow Butter. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I launched this and how it's kind of evolved. So a few years ago, when I was in late perimenopause, I started to notice that my skin really changed. And I know this is going to sound bad, but it was almost like I overnight got mum skin. And you know that kind of skin I used to see on my mum's legs? It was like this dry kind of white. And I noticed it on my arms as well. And a lot of the creams that I bought, nothing really helped. I was exfoliating, doing all the things, drinking lots of water, but nothing really helped. So I started to look into different creams out there that could help. And I remember growing up, a lot of my friends were West Indian and they used to use cocoa butter and they used to use shea butter as well. So I started looking into these ingredients, started following lots of different people, and I kind of started making my own little body butter with organic unrefined shea butter, which using on its own is quite thick. So I wanted to kind of mix it. So I mixed it with cacao butter, and then I started to kind of play around with different things. So when I first started making it, I used to use a lot of almond oil, and then I started playing around and using other oils like jojoba and rosehip. And then because I live in Spain, I decided that it made more sense that I used extra virgin olive oil. So then I switched extra. So I've always kind of been playing with these butters, and sometimes the consistency has been really good and other times it's been like a little bit not quite right. So I've sort of been like playing around, and really these were for me and I would often give them to friends. And I've also been working with Doterra oils for many years. And for me, my favourite part of doTERRA oils was not only that the oils are really pure and that they're amazing, but making things. I love it. I love making my own products. I love making my own face oils. I love making my own body oil. So it kind of made sense that I moved towards making these butters. So playing around with the consistency. Sometimes I got it right. Sometimes I didn't get it so right, but really it was just for me and for my friends and for some of my yoga clients. And then last year I started, again, looking at other ingredients, and I came across on social media castor oil. And if you're not sure about castor oil, then just look at it online. It's like everywhere. And so I got into castor oil, but it's very difficult to use and very gloopy. And, you know, it's best to put it on after the shower. But even then, you're kind of like, you know, walking around and everything you touch has got kind of, you know, you put a pair of leggings on or pajamas, they're covered in it. And I kind of didn't like the smell of it. So I was kind of thinking, okay, castor oil could work really well, but again, I'm not sure how this is going to work. This could really change and shift my body butter. And so anyway, I introduced it and it worked really well with the consistency of the body butter. So my first and my kind of original one was based on a blend by Dr. Maritza Snyder, a functional medicine doctor, called the Superwoman blend. So I basically took the oils that she uses in that blend and made my own hormone balance blend. So the oils in this, and I'm going to talk a little bit more in another video about the emotional properties of the oils and why I've chosen them. But the oils that are in this hormone balancing blend are really all of the oils that really support the hormones. So clary sage is a great balancer of hormones. It's probably the number one oil for women, so it's got lots of clary sage in, and it's got geranium, ylang ylang. The flower oils tend to really help to connect us to our heart and to really balance us. It's got cedarwood and also lavender. So this was kind of like my winning formula that everybody's loved, and this is my little hormone balance blend. So when I first made these, I made them in these little glass jars, and these are like 100 ml, but the lip wasn't that big of those, so I've changed the formulation and made myself design my own little label. And these are 200 ml, so they're bigger and you get kind of like more, and it's easier to use, you know. So I changed the formulation, created some new labels, gave them a new name, and for me, the reason that I chose this name was because when I'm using them, it feels really luxurious and it feels like an act of self-care. And I just love the kind of thickness, and it feels like, you know, I'm kind of smoothing it on my skin. And they literally, as you put it on your skin, I'm going to show you now, they literally make your skin glow. So I'm just going to show you. And sometimes because they've got organic shea, organic cacao, and I'll share some videos on my social media. I share lots of videos of how I make them, and you'll see what a labour of love they are. But the cacao butter can sometimes solidify. So if you do have the butter, sometimes you have to give it a little whip up with a little toothpick or with a little kind of little tiny knife. But you can see it's really thick. So this is just a little tester spoon. And if I put it on my arm here, it just glides on, and it's just honestly so delicious. So when you first put it on, you can see there, when you first put it on, you can see my skin literally glows. And it's very greasy. These are designed for women in perimenopause or menopause with a dry skin. And you can see how my skin just literally glows. And so I'll have a shower, and then I put my body butter on afterwards. And then I'll go and kind of give it a minute. Sometimes you may want to dry it off your hands. I love it to go in all my nails and all of my hands. The castor oil is also really good for your hair, so I often put it on my eyebrows and lashes. And then I'll go and get dressed. So you can see kind of the difference in my skin there when I put it on. Your skin literally glows, and you feel absolutely amazing. And you don't need much of it. It's very rich. It's almost like good enough to eat. It's so lovely. So that's really why I created these butters. I put so much love into them. You know, I make them in my kitchen. I spend a whole day putting them in the freezer, taking them out and whipping them. There's lots of elbow grease that's involved as well. I put them in the fridge to set. I take them out again. I whip them again. And so that's why I decided to make these little Goddess Glow butters for my fellow sisters that are going through the meno skin and need something to nourish.